Hey folks, Daryl here with Killboy.com. Had a few questions about the spot tracker I mentioned in the update yesterday, so I was going to cover it. It's a little much to type it all out, so I'm just going to cover it real quick, as quick as I can. I know I'm kind of a talker, but it's easier to explain it by voice. So this is the spot tracker device that I use. There's a newer version, a couple of newer versions now that are about the same size, just a tiny bit smaller, but I think they're supposedly more powerful. This one uses 2 AA's and the new ones use 3 AA's. I despise AAA batteries. They never last very long, but it's supposed to be a more powerful unit. This one kind of has time connectivity problems sometimes. In Canopy, I got to get it out there to get the call out sometimes, but it's a satellite-based communication device. Has 4 buttons on it. The new ones, I think they have 5 buttons or 6 buttons. They've added a couple more abilities to communicate with them. One of the buttons is on-off switch, so nothing significant there, but so this one basically has, besides the on-off switch, it has three buttons on it that allow you to communicate with people however you set it up. The key thing that you got to understand about these is you have to set them up before you leave the house. What each button does is dependent on what you do before you leave the house. But once you set it up, you don't have to continually do it or anything. It keeps its settings on their website. So basically, first of all, there's a check-in button that you set up to send a text or email message out to as many as, I think, 20 people is the limit. It's plenty of contacts there. So when I push the check-in button, it sends like a text message to my wife that says, "I'm okay, this is where I am, hope you're having a good day," or whatever. And it goes out to one of my close friends too, just to sort of let people know that I'm cool and this is where I'm at. The new ones, I think they've got another button that you can set it to be a custom message. It can be whatever you want. Hey, I'm ready for that sandwich, and if you can bring that to me now or something, whatever. It can be sort of a customizable message. But you do all this on their website at home. You type in what message you want it sent when you push that given button, and who you want it to go to, what their text or email address is, and it takes care of that whenever you push that button. It goes through the satellite to their service. They do that. There's also a help button on here that's non-emergency, so breakdown. You don't need the ambulance, you don't need EMS and stuff. You just need some help. So you set it up at home, and then if you're ever in need of help, I push the button and goes out. A message goes out to a couple of my friends and my wife, and says, I'm okay, but I need some help. This is where I'm at, and be sure they know to check with each other to make sure everybody don't come out. They know who's on that list. And I think that's a key thing there, so that everybody doesn't come rushing out when you only need one person. Final button is the 911 emergency. Distress button. That's the big one. That is recessed. First of all, so it takes a pretty serious effort to push that button. It's countersunk down into a hole. And in fact, it's kind of hard to press. Negative. It's kind of hard to press without sticking my skinny pinky in there. So I don't know about people with bigger fingers. You might have to find something to stick in that recessed thing. And I think the new ones, they've got it now where it's got like a flip over protective cap on it or something, so it's a little easier to press probably with bigger fingers. When you press that button, you've filled out some information when you registered the product of who your emergency contact people are. And when you press that button, the spot tracker people make the call to the local. They know where you're at by the GPS coordinates, and they judge who to call based on that. And they call the closest medical services, tell them that you need medical help at this location. They give them their exact coordinates, which is pretty cool. And if you're out in the wilderness, they might send a helicopter. If you're roadside or whatever, they'll send an ambulance. And then they also start calling all of your emergency contact numbers and personally telling them what's happening, which is pretty nice. So yeah, they send the cavalry, and it works pretty good. So that's kind of how it works. Again, it's called SPOT, S-P-O-T, Satellite Personal Tracker. I forget what their website is, but if you just Google SPOT GPS tracker, it should come up for you. And like I said, they're about $100, and the service is about $100 a year. So check them out, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Till next time.